again, and welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I react to music. I'm really glad that you're here. Today, we are going to be making some more progress on Still Life by Opeth. You see the album art. It is so weird to reach this direction to point there because the screen is right in front of me. But you see the album art, you know what's going on. We're moving along in Still Life. I'm going to finish this album out just here pretty quickly. And I'm excited to do it because so far, this is some good stuff. This is kind of an interesting case because not only did I say, okay, I'm going to do the entire album, but also Valhh requested this on Buy Me a Coffee. And so this is kind of a donation request, but also kind of I just decided that this was the right album to do is for my next full album. And so kind of doing it anyway. But Valhh, I really appreciate your donation. I really appreciate you supporting the channel and helping me do what I'm trying to do here. It's been just an amazing pleasure getting to spend time doing this with each and every one of you in the comments and all that. So without further ado, 1999 Still Life, we are moving ahead. I'm trying to parse what's going on in the song. I've got my lyrics pulled up. I haven't read them yet. I'm going to read them as we listen to the song together, but never heard this before. And so far in the comments, y'all are telling me I'm more or less on track so far with what's been happening, but, I could get it wrong. So we're going to see if I can keep at it. I've done enough talking. This is a 9-minute song. Let's get into it. Moonlapse Vertigo by Opeth. Got kind of a groove back like we had earlier in the album. This sounds quasi-familiar. Sorry to pause already. I don't know how Opeth always manages to do this. It must be something like music theory wise that I just don't have the awareness of. But, you get this like heavy intensity, but you also have this kind of like melancholic sound. And they just nail that over and over and over again with different riffs, different albums. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Up. Got some nice hi-hat work here. Again, the hi-hat is panned way over to the side. I feel like that happened in the last song too. At some point on this album that already happened. To speak on like what the sonic, the sound here is evoking. I'm not quite sure in terms of what the story is doing, what's happening here. I don't know. It could just be like a representation of his determination or something like that, maybe. Nice. So he's returned and they have some awareness of that, they being the village. It sounds like a fun riff to play on the guitar. So first couple of verses here, I guess I should speak to those. I mentioned it seems like his presence is if not known, then at least like felt on some level by the town and or the commune or whatever. I feel like I struggle with what to call this group on every video, but hey, we're doing what we can. Um their scorn behind your back, my promise would put them down, no trace of reverence left, immemorial fire in their eyes. And so, no trace of reverence left. Speaking, of course, to the fact that our protagonist has left and is not in uh, this cult or whatever it is, and he has nothing to do with it. He's completely abandoned it, and so his promise, I don't know what the promise is. Let me know if I have missed something, but maybe his promise to come back from Melinda, or maybe his promise never to, worship this way again, or something along those lines. Immemorial fire in their eyes. It seems kind of an interesting play on like a hell imagery there, right? Like their scorn of unbelievers, outsiders, is this like hellfire type thing. It's pretty interesting. But I'm not really sure so far, exactly like what's happening. It just seems to be descriptive so far, like exposition. All right, let's go in. Got that like crushed note thing going on that I've described in some other videos. It's real tight. Try to break it up, in a couple of verses at a time. I really like that guitar riff, that kind of thing. That sounded like a bass, but it's got this kind of a swagger to it, the way the notes are pitched into one another, which is not entirely maybe thematically where I would expect, but I think it really, really works. That's a great riff for this track so far. I love it. Verse wise, I would perish at the given signal, so he, could be killed on sight. At the slightest touch from my soul, tainted prophet in flesh for all the plagued and lost. So he's seen as like a tainted prophet. He's seen as a, again, an outsider, somebody that is not to be welcomed. And so Yeah, I mean, again, it's like I don't know if someone has visual confirmation he's been there, or if it's just like he can tell that people know that there's an outsider in their midst. So, like in other words, he's got sort of an effect beyond a mere physical presence that is reaching out into the community, and and so they know what's up. In other words, that's what I'm taking from that slightest touch from my soul. In other words, if maybe they don't already know, but if they do realize, if they do get that sense that something is off from his presence, visible or not, then he's dead. And then verse 4, this one, so I'm just turning this over in my head as I say it. Dripping sin, decision, and stalemate. Dare to feel death at hand. Surprise me with its voice. Through the forest came the morn. So obviously the morning coming through the trees, I get that. I don't, decision and stalemate. Whose decision? Perhaps his indecision to re-enter the community and to risk his soul reaching out and touching others. Something like that. Death's voice maybe is the voice we're talking about. I'm not 100% sure on this one. Okay, let's keep listening. We still kind of have that same guitar thing going on, but now it's in that more like acoustic sound. But it sounds nice. Less heavy, less effects on the guitar. Getting darker again. I feel this. It's almost like going through the trees, like approaching into this most unholy place or whatever. That was like almost like a Dave Mustaine-ish kind of a solo. That was really good. I'm backing it up. We're just gonna listen to that section again. So. Nice big off hi-hat there. Yeah. Okay. Gotta talk about the lyrics again. So, I don't know why my face is so itchy all of a sudden. Across the leafy pathway, their deeds smeared in blood, for all to behold, the council of the cross must have sensed my coming, the pest through the air, with despise for squalor lashing out at the poor. I guess I didn't know until just now that this community was like killing people. Um, but yeah, I mean, so I guess I predicted what was gonna come up there. They sensed him, or they seemed to be aware of his presence or something. Um, just by his mere being there. I mean, it was alluded to, I would say, before, but it looks like I read the lyrics correctly, and so that's good. Not sure, lashing out at the poor. So despise for squalor, lashing out at the poor. Maybe it'll explain more exactly what they're doing. But I turned away my eyes in pallor, escape from the end, fading time to leave from here, and lest fulfill my task. So in other words, there's some reason that he is running out of time. He needs to get Melinda out. He needs to get Melinda, make contact with her, convince her to leave, escape before it's too late. And if he doesn't, then I don't know. Are they performing some crazy ritual or something? I mean, I don't think that that's been said, but yeah, she would be safe and firm, nothing of this in vain, taken away from stifling grace and saved from the past. In other words, not her fault that she grew up in this community, but she has a chance to leave, and stifling grace. So again, there's a lot of this like flipping religious metaphors, religious ideas on their head. Of course, grace is a term, that can be used in other contexts, but colloquially is often associated with Christian faith and that sort of thing. And so this stifling grace is kind of a way to flip that, right? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Are they about to like kill a bunch of people? I don't understand exactly why time is running out. I guess maybe just because they're aware of him and they might kill him. It sounds like they're going to kill more people. So yeah. Okay, let's finish this out. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's fading out. It's like I need to turn this up. So that was a really bad spot to pause, wasn't it? See, and they're doing that. Oh man. They start playing some more interesting drum fills and stuff, and it's like, no, come back. Don't fade out. Okay, so I'm taking that to mean like he's in the approach here. He's resolved to enter the community, to make his attempt to free Melinda or to get her to want to leave or whatever it is. Now, because if he doesn't do it now, he won't be able to for whatever reason. And so to me, it sounds like he's approaching, and the fade out is more or less just him getting away from the trees and into the next scene, which I'm sure will be in the community. I'm going to use the word community. I think that's a nice word. So until I know what else to call it, the Council of the Cross. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the book Hyperion. There's this really weird, like, I'm not gonna call it cult, but it's kind of this supernatural alien based kind of thing where you have these people that all have this what they call a cruciform, a cross shape, that they like are worshiping and all this. So that's a crazy book if you haven't read it. Dan Simmons, Hyperion. So it's kind of evoking a little bit of that with this kind of like inversion of traditional values. And, there's some really weird stuff that goes on there. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much because that'll just be a book report on Hyperion. But interesting. I cannot wait to see what happens next. And I think the next reaction I'm recording is the next track. So I'm going to cut this off and start the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. As always, if you have a donation request, you want to support the channel, the links are here. Paragraph is subscriptions, like if you want to do it on an ongoing basis, and Buy Me a Coffee is just for one-off donations if you have a particular song or couple of songs or something that you're interested in me doing a reaction to. I really appreciate it. I think I just said that. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.